Somewhere in another universe. Alright, we're here to see Captain America Brave New World. Hope this is good. What do you think? Think it's gonna be good?
We'll see, man.
Oh shoot, okay. I think we're getting ready now. It says no cameras and stuff. Alright. See.
That wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah.
Hell
Best
yeah.
looking image.
I can't wait,
Johnny
man.
never caught fire.
Look at this. Me and my homie got out of the movie theater. We want to eat some snacks. Tell me why they got cough drops in the same aisle as regular candy. Like, explain that to me. What happened? Where do we go wrong as a species where that is susceptible? I've never even heard of this brand. Good Sense? What's Good Sense? I don't know. I could go for some Haribos right now. Alright guys, so me and my pal, we saw Captain America Brave New World a couple hours ago. And is it safe out here? Okay, yeah. Honestly, I gotta say, you can't always believe in what people say online. The movie, honestly, it was great. It was great. I mean, it really wasn't as bad as people say it is, honestly. At least for me. So let me I'm gonna wait till I get home. Alright folks, so today I went out with my pal and we just saw Captain America Brave New World, and I gotta say, honestly, well, I might just be me, I don't know. I thought the movie was actually pretty good. I was generally surprised to an extent. You know, don't get me wrong. I've been following this film for quite a while now, and I know that there's been all this weird, crazy nonsense regarding the reshoots, and then of course there's the question. The question as to like whether this movie's really gonna do well or not. And of course, this film has been highly anticipated for quite a while. I mean, this is of course the fourth Captain America movie, but obviously, this is not Steve Rogers. This is Sam Wilson. Pretty much what I will say for sure, it's definitely a very different film for sure. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect, but at the same time, it really isn't. Without going into any spoilers or anything, I won't say what happened in the movie or anything like that. I'll just kind of give you a little bit of the rundown, and I'll kind of give you the pros and the cons here and there. Real quickly, obviously, though. I won't spend too much time on it because I don't know. I don't know if I really want to make this like a complete movie review. That wasn't really part of the plan, and I'm kind of far from that because I want to do movie reviews on this channel. Definitely for sure that I would like that to happen, but I don't think I'm really ready for that yet. So I think I'd rather just stick with the toys and the gaming stuff for now until we really jump to that point, right? So, yeah. Now, well, like I say, no spoilers, but, I'll try not to slip up, because admittedly, because of the runtime and all that, it is a little bit hard to talk about this movie without mentioning a couple of pointers here and there. Now, if we're talking like, from a filmmaking standpoint, I know with the reshoots and all that, I will admit, unfortunately, some of it does kind of show a little bit, but not to where it's like super duper noticeable, if that makes any sense. It's not something to really like write home about. It is a bit noticeable, but you only really see it more towards the beginning of the film. You don't really see it too much later on. For sure. I mean, it's an action-packed movie. A lot of things really do happen, and I think they give us a decent amount of exposition. What most of it does is they do talk a little bit about what happened in previous films. I won't go too much into what they talk about because there's like a bunch of things that they talk about here and there. I know obviously with the obvious one is the Celestial, they discovered, that it has adamantium, and, we all kind of knew that from the trailers and all that and from what we've learned. So I know that's not a spoiler. Definitely one that's not a spoiler. We know that finally Leader would kind of sort of make his official entry into the MCU. We would see him kind of for the first time. Last time we saw him was in the Incredible Hulk. He was still like a normal human scientist until he got some of that gamma stuff on his head. Ever since then, we don't really know whatever happened to him. They didn't really do much with him because the Incredible Hulk came out way back in 2008. And the reason why I mention that is because obviously we all know about Red Hulk. I mean, I gotta say it. Harrison Ford as, President Ross. But like, it's so... I mean, it's a lot for sure. I mean, he did really well with the character. I love Harrison Ford. Who doesn't? I know he came out recently talking about Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny and how, wasn't exactly a masterpiece. And even he admits, he literally says shit happens. So, all right, all right. Glad to see that he's honest. And he even had a little bit of fun with this movie, and I don't know how to say it. He stole the show, honestly. He's like one of the best things in this film. Don't get me wrong, Leader, he was really cool. I love Leader in this movie. I wish like there was like a little bit more, honestly, because that was one of the complaints that I did heard, is that he's not really in it that much, and it's a little disappointing. No, he is in it. He plays a huge role in this film. The only thing, obviously, well, one, I can't spoil what happens, and two, there's definitely a lot of teases here and there. They're setting up something. I can't really say what, or maybe it's kind of obvious. I don't know. It's hard to really describe, exactly what happens in this film without going into deep spoilers. Maybe I will make a spoiler review of this movie. I don't know. I can't make any promises. I'm just kind of giving my initial thoughts, because I remember people just doubting this film, and even with the movie coming out now, there's so many people that are so picky with it. And maybe it's just me. Like, I don't get it. I did a post and everything. I put out a post first before I even made this video, so just to kind of point out my initial thoughts. And I don't know, I don't see it. It's like a lot of people said that this movie is kind of disappointing. It's really not. Like, I'm assuming that the expectations was that they were probably expecting a Captain America film, and that's one of the things that I will admit, it's a different film for sure. Like, even I wouldn't really call it a Captain America film per se. Obviously, for the situation and sort of the, and all the crazy stuff in it, it kind of makes sense. And of course, obviously, with General Ross, he has ties to both Hulk and Captain America, of course, with Civil War, because, he played a big role in that as well, just in case anyone's not caught up, Yes, he played a role in both the Incredible Hulk and Captain America Civil War, so just kind of keep that in mind. And of course, yes, they do reference those films as well. And of course, like I said, with a little bit of Eternals, they talk about the Celestial that was being discovered adamantium. There's a whole giant plot with that. How do I say it? Understandably, a lot of people were kind of curious to, like, if that's supposed to be like a tease for the X-Men, and it's pretty obvious, yeah, because Wolverine, adamantium, like, hello, come on now. Deadpool, Wolverine, obviously, it's Deadpool's and Wolverine's entry into the MCU, but that was also the final film for like the Fox X-Men universe and all that. So that was like a slight tease. I know that in the Marvels they showed off Beast, which was pretty cool. The only difference is that obviously they were from alternate universes, so kind of do wonder if they'll probably do something, with that later on, and like, maybe Secret Wars and stuff, because there's some stuff here and there. Don't get me wrong, but the movie is pretty straightforward. It's not super complicated. It's not boring. It's like, once you watch it, you kind of get the gist of it already. It's not like something that you have to really overly think about it. And I get it. People like movies that make you think, for sure. So I know that some people said that the plot and the story was okay. No, I thought it was decent. But it's not bad either. No, I kind of understand what was going on and all that. I think the biggest problem the movie faced, honestly, was, of course, with some of their editing choices and all that. You could kind of tell a little bit as to certain parts where they kind of have to cut corners and all that. But like I said, they're really not as big enough to really make a huge complaint about it. There are some weird stuff here and there, like some zoom-ins that I can't tell if they were done for like a creative standpoint. There's time where they're like close up to the camera just a little bit in some parts, not everywhere. With Red Hulk, that it makes sense for the close-ups because he's like the big A, right? That fight was good. That was a pretty decent fight. I'm satisfied for the most part. Some people were a little disappointed, saying that they probably would have wanted a little more, but I don't know if they're saying that because they like it or if they're saying it because they just didn't like it enough to where they kind of needed more, if that makes any sense. I don't know, I'm kind of twisting some words here and there. Pros, it's an enjoyable film. It's honestly really great. And I don't understand the hate at all. I've seen like Critical Drinker calling it like what, Brave New Failure or something, or like even Double Toast. I don't know. I've seen some people like talking about how it's like a huge step backwards. No, it is not. Is it Captain Marvel bad? No. Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp bad? No. Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium bad? No. Is it Thor Love and Thunder bad? No. Is it Eternals bad? No. Is it The Marvels bad? No. This is not a bottom of the barrel Marvel movie. It is not crap. It's not garbage. It's not bad. No. it's generally a nice, fun movie that you could. It's a good film. You have fun time with your friends. There's a lot of action in it. There's some stakes here and there. Okay, fine. Couple of weird sloppy parts here and there. Again, yeah, a bit noticeable. Maybe it might hurt it maybe a little bit, but I think that's just because of a film making standpoint, because this movie went through a lot of heavy reshoots. So of course it's kind of debatable if maybe they should have just kept some of the stuff in or maybe removed some stuff out. My theory, I feel like maybe the movie was probably a lot more bloated before, maybe to cut out some things, because like I said, it gets to the point real quick though with a couple of things in here and there. I mean, there's some mysteries and stuff like that. It's not a confusing film, is what I'm trying to say. I think, again, what happened with the expectations is that people were expecting a lot more than what they get. And as to whether they're going to be satisfied or not, I think that's the part where it's really up to you guys, whether you like it or not and all. I give it maybe somewhere between like a 7.5, maybe an 8. I'm not entirely sure. I want to give it an 8 because I like the movie a lot. But if we're talking like the audience and like a good majority of opinions of people that kind of like the movie, I give it maybe a 7.5. Captain America wise, I know that the previous 3 movies, for some odd reason, they were just like perfect. I mean, there's like no bad Captain America movies. And mind you, this is not a bad movie either. But understandably, I guess, you could say maybe this is like a little bit like towards the bottom when it comes to that, because the Captain America movies are somewhere between like maybe 9 out of 10s or 10 out of 10s. Obviously, the first one was good. This was great. It's a classic, at least for me. I love Captain America. I love the first Captain America movie. Second one was way better. Captain America and the Winter Soldier, fantastic. I mean, for sure, action packed. I mean, very heavy. I mean, come on. That was like the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. for crying out loud. And of course, the return of Bucky as the Winter Soldier. And then, of course, Civil War. It was, I mean, a lot of stakes in there for sure. A lot of crazy things. And it's just so perfect. I mean, I get it. It's not like as crazy as the comics, but I think it still does it very perfectly, cinematic wise. And of course, there was the introduction of Spider-Man and Black Panther. So it does well. So those movies were generally very good. But this movie, I think, does deserve the rank of being a good Captain America film. But obviously, if we're kind of rating it between like which one's the best films, I could kind of understand why it's not the best Captain America movie. I mean, it's a movie, but I get it. It's not like the best Captain America movie. And I swear, it's not because there's no Steve Rogers. No, because Sam Wilson, he struggles a lot to be the new Captain America. He knows that there's so many stakes here, and that he's not sure if he could handle it. There's a lot of parts that are like that throughout the film, and even with his new pal too, the new Falcon. I mean, there's a couple interesting things here and there. I mean, it's like he comes off as this sort of like kind of he's kind of like that until some shit happens. I mean, no, go watch this movie. Look, just because I'm saying that it's a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10, just because I'm saying that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go see it. Go see it. Come on. Prove all these idiots wrong too, because I'm so sick and tired of these weird like MCU hate going on, because they're not even like genuine criticism. I don't know. I've seen some like really weird takes here and there, and I'd rather just kind of make that in a separate video because I don't want this video to be too long. I'm just really giving my initial thoughts and a slight review on the movie. I thought it was great. I mean, I just had to kind of get the word out because, I know I did like a weird little video, like, I went to go see Sonic 3 with my pals, and I actually generally enjoyed Sonic 3. I thought it was actually really good. Surprising because I've been a little bit out of the loop with Sonic for a long time. Even though I literally did like a playthrough of Sonic, the first game. Might be doing some gaming at some point, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about too much with that, but, I have a slight interest in doing that on the channel. The toy stuff, I'm just going to have to just sort of back up for now, but you get the point. I'm not going to go too much into that. All I'm going to say is please go watch the movie. All this crazy nonsense with people saying that it's not good, no. Go watch it yourself and make the opinion yourself. If you want to make a video about it, go ahead. Even if you don't like the movie, hey, that's perfectly fine. Talk about why you don't like it. But don't go super crazy like all these other people, like calling it like the worst thing ever, because it's not. It's not even the worst Marvel movie ever. It is not. No. Not even. Alright, so that's about it for now. I'm a little tired, it is what it is, had a nice time. Like I said, go check it out, see if you might like it or not, and that's about it. So, yeah.